They're just arguing because he's in a space with all these white supremacists, and they're just like, bro, like Myron, you're not one of us. They're just calling Myron a nigger and saying he needs to get deported. And he's like, no, but like Myron, bro, like we're black. We're never gonna be accepted by these people.
As you get older, people are supposed to grow, evolve, mature, and overall ascend from the childish mindsets they had when they were younger. But in the case of Sneako, it seems like he's growing backwards. He started off as this very insightful YouTuber that had great potential in the YouTube content creation space and was leading a youthful pack of people that were on a quest to find themselves. But now he's jumping from ideology to ideology, personality to personality, niche to niche, grift to grift, and people are starting to poke holes and see through that. We don't know who he really is, and honestly, I don't think Sneako does either. One of the more interesting things about Sneako and his new identity is that he seemingly built up this racist community by attaching himself with the likes of Fresh and Fit, Myron and Kyron, being on stream with their masks on, doing a bunch of racist things for clicks, views, laughs, and giggles. But what Sneako failed to realize is him using the excuse of being black and being okay with saying these things in freedom of speech was just the fuel that other who watched his channel needed to make sure that he kept dancing like the monkey that they see him to be in his new content when it came time to criticize these Haitians that are eating cats and dogs and stuff like that. When President Trump called out the stuff that's going on in Springfield or whatever the case may be.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets.
Sneako had to come to the front lines and defend his beautiful home country that is Haiti. But if you think that those racists were hearing that, no shot. Now, just before that, he was an Andrew Tate disciple, really looked up to the guy, found him to be charming, found him to be a quality guy in the red pill manosphere alpha male space. But since that started falling off, he had to move to race baiting and religion like he's doing now. And now him and Andrew Tate are beefing damn near every day on the timeline.
I'm not here to end Sneako's career. I mean, I could. I'm that guy. But I'm not here to do that to the guy. You know, he's young. He's young. The only reason I even replied to him is because he implied I was Jewish, which he knows is a bit far. He's kind of passive aggressive, you know? He's kind of like one of those girls who like starts a fight and gets in your face and says, hit me then, hit me, hit me, hit me. And then like hits you 3 times, hit me. And then you hit her and she's like, oh, it's like, you can't just sit there and call me a Jew and then be like, why did he reply that? Like, bro, you need to chill out. Anyway. I have nothing against Sneako. If he wants to ruin his career, he can do it himself, carrying down this asinine path of insanity.
You didn't even respond to what I say. You said that white supremacists are totally right. I give a fair criticism based off of Islam there, and you're like, I don't like you. You're not on the cool kids table.
A lot of people think that it's hilarious that Sneako was going down this path of criticizing Andrew Tate for his supposed white supremacist ideologies. And the only reason why I'm saying supposed is because I truly don't know. It sounds very likely. I don't want to put that on him, but trust me, I believe it if they say it. Why they find it so interesting is that Sneako has aligned himself with Nick Fuentes, self-proclaimed white supremacist and racist, literally last week. You literally aligned yourself with this guy last week. And what's funny is he also started beefing with Nick Fuentes.
Shut the fuck up. I don't care about Islamophobia. You don't have to hate these people. I don't hate them. I really don't. But I put them on mute. People like Sneako, whoever, when they got something to say about whites and white civilization, I just put them on mute.
Trust me, he was literally buddied up with Nick Fuentes the week before, and even when he got into the debate with Moist Critical, the whole issue with Moist Critical, he literally sided with Nick Fuentes.
Brother, he is vocal about being against race mixing.
He wants to continue the white race because the Zionists are trying to destroy the white race. I understand his point of view 100%. Do I agree with his views completely? No. Does he agree with my views completely? No. We're different religions. This person is the future president of America because white people are being decimated right now. All of Europe is being completely diluted very quickly. In America, the immigrants are flooding through. Like there's no sense of a white identity anymore.
Wild.
You know what black people get? Wakanda forever. Black Lives Matter. Black power. Black pride. They are allowed to say that. They brainwash white people to be ashamed. Chris Tyson is so ashamed of being a white person who has so much privilege, he chops his penis off to become a minority. I'm telling you, the reason that people like Nick Fuentes get called a hateful person all the time is because people, the atheists, we're supposed to believe that. If you listen to his rhetoric, he's a pure Catholic. You know what Catholics believe? Love everybody. Love speech.
And he's been buddy-buddy with Nick Fuentes for a long time. Back when Kanye West was drumming up presidential ballots and candidacies and all that other BS that he was doing when he was wearing those leather pants and at his BBL down in Miami. So in all these endeavors and efforts of trying to make sure that he stays with some sort of audience to be the next token guy, a la Jason Whitlock, a la whoever else is black on Fox News, that sheriff guy that's a clown, he's made it to where these white people or racist people feel like he is the voice of reason for a different ethnic backgrounded community. So whenever they need validation in their beliefs that black people are this or transgender people are that or whatever the case may be, they will turn to Sneako. But again, what he did not realize is that one day something or someone that he identifies with is going to be on the other side of that pool stick, getting hit around by racist to other racist to white separate, all this other stuff, and he's gonna have to be the one to turn around and defend those people. But they don't want to hear that shit from him.
Trying to act as Muslim as possible for internet likes is simply a grift. Beware the Haram police, they're the biggest snakes of all. Nobody Haram policed him. What he said literally goes against the core fundamentals of being a Muslim. White supremacy is wrong. They're not totally right. It's not totally right to believe in a supreme race. That's everything that we're fighting against. The root of all evil stems from a superiority complex from a race. That's why everything in the world is bad, because of that belief system. In fact, you could say the first act of racism was Satan. When Satan decided they didn't need to listen to God and bow down to Adam because he thought he was superior and he didn't need to worship, that's where evil started. Satan, Shaitan, was the first original racist. So yeah, it's funny to make racist jokes, but racism is evil. Racism is bad. Racism has nothing to do with goodness.
Oh, brother, you just do not get it. My problem with some of the rhetoric that he just said at the end, and I have a lot of problems with all of it, is the fact that the people that are making racist jokes are actually racist. The problem is you may have thought, and this would be naive of you, that you were laughing and being ha-ha-y with people who are laughing with you, but the whole time they were laughing at you. They weren't just laughing and kikiing because the joke was funny, because a lot of the times in these racist jokes, there is no joke. It's just saying these slurs like you and Myron do when you get up on these streams and have the KKK hat on and the monkey suit on and all that stuff. There's no joke in it. You call it racist jokes, they call it their true intentions and feelings. And look, I have no problem with this whole revelation that Sneako's been going through and finding religion, etc., because people should change. They should mature, they should become adults, and they should grow up. Hopefully he'll grow out of this dumb phase of thinking, oh, they're just racist jokes when I'm sitting next to a racist, but I appreciate some of the growth that he's had, and I don't mind anybody having faith in anything. The problem is talking down on people that have opposing viewpoints to you, only for you to do the same things that you're talking down on, and then talk some more about the people that used to do the same things you did. I just don't understand how somebody could see you as some worldwide leader of truth when you constantly change your ideologies and viewpoints, and all the time you are demeaning and degrading people based off of your religious beliefs and your background. Personally, I think that he's just flip-flopping to make whatever he can make in content creation stick for a long time. I know his contract is coming up soon and he'll ultimately jump from Rumble to Kick because that's where the real money is in that alt-right community. Kick is a more visible platform, but he's just saying what he needs to say in order to get to the next dollar. I look at people like Young Don in this situation because Young Don, if you know, the animator, went on his whole religious arc publicly on the internet as a young man, and the way that he went about it probably wasn't the best. You see, Young Don spent a lot of time going down this religion arc, demeaning and bashing different peoples of different backgrounds or different lifestyles, and honestly a lot of people were disgusted by it. But then Young Don took a break from the internet and ultimately came back to be a new man that has a new perspective and understood the error of his ways from when he was bashing people upon the internet based off of their religious beliefs.
I want to apologize to anybody I've offended whilst expressing my beliefs. In particular, I can think of two groups, Muslims and the LGBTQ community. It profits no one for me to offend you, but nonetheless, it was never my intention to offend you. I want you to listen, or I wanted you to listen, and that's not how you get someone to listen.
See, you can still believe and love in all these things without being hurtful, harmful, hateful, and anything else that means diminishing or degrading the people that are viewing you. I think this is just a symptom of blowing up young. You ultimately have to mature, and when you find something that you think is just the most gobsmacking thing in the world, you feel like I have to share it with my massive audience, and I don't really know how to interpret it while mixing in reality into what I'm learning. You're finding your own way on the internet internet that's filled with a lot of good information, bad information, and everything in between, and you're just taking it and spewing it as you learn. In time, though, you're gonna get caught up in some really bad takes and some really clippable moments that people aren't just gonna forgive because you say I'm sorry. No, they're gonna remember those things for a very long time. You're gonna get a label attached to you, and unless you do what Young Don did, and I think it's actually a really good job and it should be highlighted more, then a lot of people aren't going to be able to just accept the fact that you've changed and that was your old behavior. No, they're gonna label you as a hateful person. And I think that's the evolution of Sneako. We saw a young, very thought-provoking, intellectually seeming guy go from creative mind on YouTube, who was blossoming into one of the brightest creators. Even Mr. Beast sniffed him out and said, hey, I see you as a genius mind, to red pill creator, to alt-right creator, to I don't even know what this new religious spiel is, to now defending his own people from the audience that he grew, because they are now spewing hate as to what Haitians are doing in this country, which has been proven to be false, but it doesn't matter because racists don't care about that stuff. They want anything to attach to get their shit off. And now Sneako is at the butt of the joke and he does not like it. Hopefully he finds some lights and goes back to making dope content instead of getting these Hitler things off on the internet. I hope he puts this down.